I'm going to talk about the way I see SOA should be practiced. But I have a really bad news for the beginning because they all say that SOA is dead. So, okay, it will be a surprise, but I will say the same thing, and then we'll go on after we will. So, I'm going to talk about middleware history. The thing that make people say that SOA would be dead, and the way we can practice it using an agile perspective. I'm going to use two use cases. One when we have helped a company who has no SOA maturity at all, and to build his first space with SOA. And the second one is a little different for a customer who has already been using SOA stuff, but not at its maximum. And then we can reward this client's SOA maturity. Without the two use cases, I'll explain to you why WSO2 has been chosen as a tool to accompany the SOA principles. So a little history about middleware. Like in the mid-80s, every project was a huge thing. You erase the past, you build new technology, you say COBOL is history, we're going to do Smalltalk or C++, and it was a huge project. It was this time where every project has a core aspect, and nobody understands these people, but they are always needed. And projects are expressed in terms of person year. It takes many years with many people to be achieved. And then, in the mid of the 2000s, we saw middleware evolve and allowing us to do projects smaller size to adapt quicker than before. And then that's the reign of web service, at the reign of languages that allow more productivity, like Java or C#. And we start to see real enterprise projects, speaking of person months to be achieved. And today, following the curve, middleware should be really nice. We're talking about many standards like SOA REST, JMS, WAS web service, and all the galaxy of norms and standards, and nice tools that accompany these standards. And we are set to achieve project in a matter of person day or person week, depending on the business size of the project. But what we've seen today, what we are seeing, is that this is scarcely true. This is said to be. Now you can use these technologies, this modern technology, and projects will be done in Snap. And then you go into a project, and if it's wrongly done, it's just like hell, and say SOA is dead. Why so? Because there are some misunderstanding. Well, you all know about these ones. You say SOA is just about web services. We know that is not true. All SOA approaches that are only technicals are meant to die like other technical projects, because if the business is not there, it won't evolve, it won't have the money. And then we've all been mesmerized by SOA vendors who say, choose my stack, it's the best. And then they say, hey, it looks good, and then you have a huge solution, and you have to comply with all the solutions. Clearly, the small and medium enterprises couldn't afford the really big solutions. Big enterprises have had some big successes. We've heard about British Telecom, we've heard about Cigna Solutions, and something like, they said, we've earned money, we've made solutions that quickly adapt, and you say, oh, SOA is working. But then you see the budget of this project, and you say, my company is only 2,000 people, we cannot afford this. I'm not speaking about even smaller companies. And so technical SOA has made its way, and everybody said it's a real danger. It's very risky. So everybody's saying, just SOA, we need to do SOA, is wrong, because why would we? Okay? They're forgetting the question. So my thing is that hype SOA, the SOA with the buzzword, is dead. And then we can start working with real people, okay? Because the things that have made SOA possible and needed are still there with us. We need to change quicker than before. The business needs to change quicker because it's a matter of marketing part. You know, you have an idea, you cannot tell them, oh, it's too late. It will be too late for your idea. The IT must be able to change quickly. Okay, so our job as SOA architects is to make business and IT change compliant. And that's one of the main points of SOA, to be change compliant. The business must be able to change quickly, and the IT must be able to change without hijacking the budget for 7 years. Okay? But the budget is still low. So if we still want to go to SOA, we need to go with small success by small success. This is what has been advertised by Agile Solution, okay? And Agile is not forget the specification. Agile is go side by side with business and IT and make it durable. Durable means it can change when it needs to change. So SOA is a real success when it is not an objective by itself, but is a tool to accompany or to achieve a transformation of an information system needed by business or IT. So SOA is more like a transformation agent for me. So about this Agile SOA perspective, you will need governance. I will slightly elaborate about this term. And in governance, there is the maturity level. The maturity level model has been heavily used on projects like CMMI. Who's heard about CMMI? 2 people. It's like a methodology that allows you to measure, are you right to go this way? Okay? And with small success, you need to carefully choose where you're using SOA, because you need to demonstrate success quickly. And success will generate trust, and trust will generate budget, and the other success. Okay, that's the main thing. But you have to be aware of the learning curve that goes with SOA, because if your job is insurance company, and you choose anybody in this audience, and you explain the insurance business in one day, you will never have time to really act in this business by tomorrow, okay? It will take months and months, and for somebody years, to really be an actor in the insurance business. The same with SOA. It has been the same with object technology 10 or 15 years ago. Everybody said, use Java or use Smalltalk and you'll be object engineer. No, not true. It takes years for a company to say, hey, object is making me earning money this way. So the learning curve goes with the governance. Governance means you got to tell everybody what you are going to do. Don't make secret SOA projects. Sometimes DevOps are the last person to be shown what is going on, and business people also. So communication is a very important process, and compliance, of course, because we're going to do SOA. What does it mean? It means not take the SOA Bible and say, we're going to do all this. No, just choose some small objectives and say, okay, we're going to start with this. And every month we're going to see, have we achieved this? Okay, it's okay. So we choose another objective, we add 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes round, round, round. Plan what you want to achieve. Define how you're going to achieve it. Run. And then see, is it going the right way? Or do I have some success? Can IT or business see what SOA can bring them? You have to adapt to the maturity level, which is a result of the monitoring. You have to know if people are understanding what they are doing. Then lastly, don't do some SOA dogma everywhere, like you must use an ESB, or every service has to be like this way, or a web service, or a REST service, or something like that, okay? Start small. When you act, it should be SOA compliant, but besides, it can be anything. And do not erase the past, use it. Like, I go back with small to medium business company, they have short budget, they have simple organization. It means they don't have like huge companies, tens of people that can do architecture business, deals with SOA issues with the business, and then come with a solution that has been matured, okay? Usually there are 10 or 100 people inside these companies, and you cannot make them have all the weight of an SOA initiative. And they need support. And they don't need R&D. They cannot say, I'm going to research if SOA is good for me. No. They need facts, and they need some consulting company that say, you can achieve with us. So the use cases I was speaking about, the first one is a company that has a client-server model legacy information system with all the trouble that comes with it. And they have a major business need, it's to open their information system to other clients, open part of their information system. So we see how we started with them. So they have trouble with client server. It's costly to maintain. It doesn't change well. And it's really not fit to be open to other company, because you have to install your solution to the other company, okay? And they have some needs, because their marketing, the company is a cultural product seller. It has physical store and it has internet store as well. And their solution is duplicated on every store. And inside it's duplicated for the internet store. So they must prepare to open their information system for other clients to resell their logistic, which is their major asset. And the IT is complaining that they cannot comply with budget and keeping the system maintainable. So they want to lower the cost of IT. Part of this subject are prone to be answered by SOA, like the opening of the information system, like to lower the cost by facading using mediation and so on. So we start with them an SOA initiative, but we start small because you have no SOA education. So we go step by step. We choose with you one little subject that could make you understand what we're saying. Because at the first time we say, okay, SOA could do this for you. And then the magical look, oh, SOA is magic, it's exactly what I need. But then we could be afraid that they think SOA is simple, very simple, it's so simple that it will be in a snap project. So we say, okay, we're going to demonstrate in a little project, and then you will see the truth about SOA, what it can achieve for you, and what it will cost really in terms of work for you, because it will change your mind, it will change the way you have to behave. So we seek small success, we seek demo, we seek to demo that mediation is not a single point of failure, because they have, when they have heard about ESB, they as soon as they heard about it, they say, but if the ESB is away, is down, my whole system is down. Okay, you're right, and we're going to demonstrate that it's not an issue. It can be available. So main decision criteria is they have a small team and low budget. They have no SOA maturity. They are looking for a solution that is scalable, that can mold and evolve to something that will cover their whole information system. And they are really fond of the capability to see what's going on in the information system. So that's why we have chosen WSO2, because it's super quick to install. Okay, no cost at the beginning, except for human cost when you accompany them. And it has small footprint, it's lean. You can start with only a few components and then add more components as time goes by and SOA maturity is coming. It's modular and it has this magical console that allows people to see what's going on. And it's in terms of communication, of adoption, it's really important. We used only two WSO2 architecture. We had to cope with failover because they say when physical stores do not have any internet connection, they have to keep working. So we have to propose some way to degrade the service call to the central store and use local data. We have to ensure scalability by saying whenever every store is doing many orders or many research at the same time, we'll have a problem, an issue. So we have to use redundancy on central and show them that the ESB could afford, no problem. And then it was the tricky one. At the middle of the project, middle time, they tell us that all data is not available on central. There is some specialized local metadata that is needed for a product. So all we did is to add some data enrichment on the stores. I'll show you the way it goes. We've used Tomcat also because they already knew Tomcat, and it was good for us to have something they knew in the solution. So there is a central ESB that is dealing with a new reference product service that deals with product research. It's cultural product like books, videos, and discs and movies and so on. We have only used some indexation technology like Elasticsearch to facade their data, their legacy data at the central, and some Java to use this Elasticsearch store to produce hyper-fast search and results. There are two instances of the services, and it's load balanced by an ESB. On each store, there is a stripped ESB instance that only do very simple mediation, and it goes for failover. If the central is not available, then it's using degraded mode and use a local version of the service. Okay? And there is the use of data service server to enrich with the specialized metadata that are only available at local store that I spoke about. The other new app I'm talking about next, it's the way to show them how to reuse their service outside of their legacy application. This is the legacy client-server application with all the data that is synchronized every day, every minute or so on all their stores. With this system, they need only a synchronization a day. So it's very beneficial for them because the data quality was very important. It can stop a selling. Okay? When the reference product is not good, it means it cannot pass and you cannot sell the book. This legacy application is a Delphi application. I don't know if many of you have been using Delphi. So it's a regular Delphi application with many screens and heavy clients. So the concrete result is a service that is to search the product that is 10 times faster than the original code. It's far away, but it's faster because we used Elasticsearch and so on, but the way we pass through different layers doesn't doesn't lower the performance. And the integration has been really straightforward. It has taken hours for the Delphi developer to use the REST service instead of Delphi code that was querying the database. And we were able to see that the existing legacy database schema was very old, and like all database schema that has seen many days, it was not optimized, it was full of history, okay? But then they saw with this service and 2 ESB instances that they would need to change their way to supervise their system, okay? So the result of this decision is that, okay, they've seen what is working easily, and they have seen what is a problem, their data schema. They have seen that they have to invent a new way to survey, of monitoring, and this solution is to be industrialized to go to production. And then the next achievement is that they now have a real service. They no longer believe in SOA because we told them it would be nice. They have a real service that outperforms the legacy, that allows them to make whatever change they want behind the interface of the service. Okay? They experience light coupling. That is a real motto of SOA. You know, we can tell them, okay, this service, it has a very simple interface. It yields a model of cultural product that allow them to do their business. So behind the scene, you can now migrate your database without risk. That's a real asset. And then we've shown them that this service can be used outside of their legacy technology. And we've made some mobile apps that could query the product catalog and show them the same results, but on a mobile phone. Okay? So they can see what it is to build a service for now and for tomorrow. Because the Delphi application will maybe last 2 or 4 years, but after, now they know that it's not an issue. And then they can see the mediation layer as a real spot to experiment, like monitoring or security or audit and so on. Without with no need to intervene into the legacy. So this use case is a success, but it's a short one. Okay, we've chosen WSO2 because it's one of the rare products that allow us to do this in very short time. Number 2 use case is completely different. They have services, but they don't have ESB and so on. And they have a project that must be done in very short time. Okay? So we must, and some services are work in progress. So we accept the contract, we say, okay, we'll do this, but you give us all the service definition and some test of services call instance. And then at home, we will mimic all this to be able to integrate quickly with your solution. And if the work in progress changes the signature, we must be able to comply very quickly. It's a question of project cost, okay? So they need us to comply to their services and their work in progress services, and we need to be able to test our solution at home before we deliver and adapt quickly. We decide to mock all the existing services, right? And either a web service or a REST service. So the solution, we choose one more time WSO2 because the ESB mediation allows us to mock services very quickly, either by using application server and from a WSDL generating a Java service that we can code, or just taking a REST URL and some payload information that they gave us and inlining in a mediation that took 3 minutes to mock a REST service with ESB. I don't know if you've tried, but you should. And adding every security or so on or transformation you need. So it's a complete difference because they have the beginning of SOA, but not everything. And we can use it without telling us we are going to use an ESB at home. Okay? It's non-intrusive. Clients have supplied their services definition. They are calling instances, test demo, test data. We used it. And then we deliver the project in time. And there are 2 services that have changed signature during the project. In a 1-month project, 2 services of 6, it's a huge change, okay? But we just adapt the mock, and it was just short impact on the code, okay? So it served us well to guarantee the project cost to the customer, okay? And then we show the client what we have done. We have used our own ESB to mimic his services, and it has ensured his project cost. So now he's more listening to us when we say we can go further with you about SOA. Okay? So the global result is a mediation layer is a kind of starting point. Of course, you can start with something else, like API manager can be used as the beginning of an SOA initiative, or governance registry or something else. But its integration projects are simpler ones, I think. So the mediation layer is really a starting point, an asset they've got after you've helped them. And you have to think in small paces to guarantee success and adoption. And it's a really good cycle. So after that, you get the priorities and you can propose to build with other WSO2 solution. I won't tell everything, the slide will be available. So from this point on, you can show the client that he has an existing, a basic setup of WSO2, and now he can choose his way around the whole platform. But just keep the pace, the same pace, small successes. The second phase should not be a huge project that will jeopardize the small success. So my conclusion is, beware of huge SOA solution that does not allow you to grow at the client space or your space, okay? Don't be a hostage of your SOA stack. And the SOA stack is not the only solution because you have to answer some business needs. If it's an IT solo project that wants to go to SOA, it's too risky. Big bang project like to say you erase the past and you replace with a new solution, as for me, they are history because they cost too much money. They are not worth the money because you can do pace by pace. It's much less costly and it has very good results. Business and technology, you have to marry, I've already said. As for us, WSO2 is a natural companion to this lean and agile approach toward SOA because of its nature, modular nature, okay, the carbon thing and everything that has been advertised from this morning. And it's really fast and super fast to demonstrate. It has a capacity to grow with the enterprise need, and it's lean. I mean, lean is what it matters now, as for me. Do you have any questions? I think it's keeping it simple is the way of SOA. Well, thank you about this.